The third thing that characterizes is the noticeable presence of frustration in your life. See, if we look closely at the Galatians in there, they become very frustrated with the constant threats of these Judaizers. And they were so sick and tired of it. Moses was the same. He tore his clothes at times and just screamed. I don't know about you, but sometimes I have a screaming time in the car. You ever had one of them? It's great fun. Just let everything out. No one's around. No one can hear you. Turn the windows up and just scream. Whoa! When it just comes out, it's great stuff. Get rid of it, or I get my pressure down sometimes like that. I remember when we were young, when the kids, we used to have screaming competitions. I always won. That was good. So that was fantastic. But, yeah, so we've got to be careful of that sort of stuff. The fourth thing I believe in is the presence of stagnation in your life. You start to become stagnant, you know. Often believers find themselves going through a place where they're just going through religious motions. We just come to church because we have to come to church. We just come along, we just pay our tithes because that's what we do. But it's not what we do. We do it for a reason, and that's because of the love and the passion that we have for God. And if we don't have that, well, then we find things are dropping. The workload becomes weary because we're not meditating on the things of the Holy Ghost. But I'll just go through a few things quickly. Loss of vision. Things that you saw once, things that you dreamt of, you saw where you wanted to go in life, even your jobs or your careers, or things that you really wanted to do just seem to, where is it now? I can't see it anymore. I'll never get there. I'm gone off track. You start to lose vision in these situations. Loss of hope, you know, that you'll never make it. You'll never come through it. I remember when I was growing up, there's a little cartoon called Gulliver's Travels. I don't know if anyone remembers that. That was one of my little favourite shows. And there was this always pessimist in there, you know. He used to walk along and all the time he'd say, we'll never make it. We'll never make it. He was just such a pessimist, but they're always wrong, you know. And, you know, they get tied up and he says, we'll never make it, you know. We need to be careful of that sort of stuff as well. Don't lose hope. Loss of confidence. Don't lose confidence. You know, you have what it takes because you have the Creator of all living within you. If He lives within you, He will empower you to do what's needed, yeah? Come on, stand. Be confident in who you are. Sense of discouragement. Why bother? Why bother? You know, I get no appreciation for it. Why bother? I just go to bed, I go to work, I get up, I eat, I go to bed, go to work. It's why bother? It's pathetic. There's more to life than that. Next one. Boring. The same old, same old. Midlife crisis comes on. Man alive, look at what I've been all my life and it's boring as heck. What am I going to do? And people fill it with different things. Spiritual emptiness is another one. There's no fulfilling in your life and the things of God anymore. Living in a state of denial, where you seem to think everything's okay. You know, people talk to you and say, no, I'm fine. It was good. It's okay. No, I'm great. You see them all the time. You go, how you going? Oh, I'm okay. You know, their life's falling apart. Yeah, I'm good. It's just deny. You know it's not, so why don't we be honest? Why don't we try to help each other? That's the way to go. There's a guy by H.B. London. He wrote a book about pastors greater at risk. And he talks about this. He says that stress and depression take you to the same place, but they just take you to different routes. We need to be aware of that. And he adds that those on the path of burnout can experience tiredness, arrogance, where you don't need help, addiction. They use work as a narcotic to help them through, eating. There's aloneness, there's separation. You look at Elijah. What did he do? He separated him from people. He went out to the desert. He wanted to be alone. He ate and he slept. Is that depression? He was in it. We need to be aware. We've got to be careful of that. If you just want to sleep all day and eat and don't talk to anyone, well, maybe there's something going on. We need to be aware of it. Sin to fulfill the emptiness. Sometimes adultery and different things happen because they're trying to fulfill this void. And it really comes by pushing ourselves too hard. God doesn't want us to push ourselves too hard. We need to be in the Spirit. We need to move in that way. I remember when I was in Burnout in the early 90s, I experienced incredible stress because I was lighting the candle both sides, you know. We had, I was working as a state manager, I was a youth leader, I was an elder of a church, I had a martial arts business, I had another business on the side, I had all these things going, and then a family, young family. It was just crazy, absolutely crazy. And I came to the point where I was starting to speak that quick, no one could hear me anymore, I was talking quick, everything was becoming not real, surreal. Everything around me was like dream time. You start to get yourself, and everything starts to seem a bit dreamy, well, you're just about there. Be careful of it. So you have to wipe everything out and start again for 6 months and just relax and get rid of it. Productivity, everything went down. But what are some of the causes? Okay, we can say what they are, but what are some of the causes here? See, we're not supermen or women. We need to be careful that we don't act like it. You can't do everything. Sometimes outside influences attract us. Bosses give you unrealistic deadlines, times. People with problems come to you with their unrealistic deadlines, or they've just come to you with something, and said, listen, I need this done now, but they haven't planned for it and they put it on you. That's where we need to know boundaries as well. If we haven't got boundaries on our life, even friends, close friends sometimes can put so much things on you when you need to say, no, hang on a minute, I need to take time with my family, I need to do this. Because otherwise, if you haven't diaritized your life and you haven't got your life in order, someone else will fill it for you. It's true. We have to be so careful of that. See, Moses' father-in-law did that. He found out all about that sort of stuff, and he said, you're under great strain, and have the principle of having different people around you. Don't overextend yourself. So that's why in our church even we have that 7-step process of pastoral care. I was talking to a pastor this week, and they're saying this person's got, I think they've got about 600 or something in their church, and they said, it's so busy, the pastor, you can never get to them at all. And it should be the opposite, I believe. The bigger you get, the lighter your load should be, and the more you should be in the throne room. That's how it does work. That's how it works here. We have a great pastoral care team around us, so we get opportunity to do those things. And we need to be careful of that. That we get so busy, so tied up. And so I believe that, God spoke early on that sort of stuff. And that's why sometimes, if you need to see me, I'm here. Everyone comes and says, gee, you're so busy. You think I'm busy? Ring me. We can see you any time. Just have to put in the diary. That's all I have to do. The next thing, I think, burnout may be caused by failure to express ourselves. We've got to be careful that you've got to be able to express yourself. Sometimes we're too shy. We feel like they won't listen, you'll be put down. You've got to express your feelings, because if you hold them in, your opinions, you need to let them out, but let them out in love. See, Paul wasn't like that. Paul gave them both barrels. The Galatians pulled back, but Paul gave it to them when he needed to. So did Jesus. And we need to be people that would speak out about our heart and our passion. The third thing we see here is it's caused by the act of condemning yourself. Don't condemn yourself. Too many times we listen to other people's opinions instead of listening to God's opinion. Who's God say you are? Don't listen to other people who they think you are. People like to speak negativity and put you down all the time, but it's not what it's about. And if you keep listening to it and you keep letting it go in your spirit, what's happening is it's going to start burning you out. Thank God our salvation isn't based on works, yeah? So what can we do to avoid it? This is the thing that you need to know.